Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick little story time on the night I spent overnight at a sundown town, you know what I'm saying, in my semi truck.
In today's video, these truck drivers are going to be talking about their experiences in a sundown town, whether they were dropping off a load or just driving through. They're going to be explaining what they went through. I have my fair share of dealing with sundown town, being a woman from the South. This video is for entertainment purposes only and allegedly.
I slept overnight, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my semi truck right now. I got a Kenworth T680, man. So, boom. So, this is what happened, right? So, I'm in Indiana somewhere, right? I can't tell you where I'm at because I got a dedicated load over there, so I'm there all the time. But this is the first time I actually slept overnight over there, and I would never do that again. This is what happened. So, first biggest mistake was it was around like 8, so it was getting dark. So I was driving through there. I had to get diesel. So I stopped at a truck stop, bro. Stopped at a truck stop. It was literally creepy as hell, bro. Like, I was by myself. I had nobody with me. I mean, I'm solo, so obviously I wouldn't have nobody with me. But everybody was just staring at me, bro. As soon as I got up out the truck, everybody knew I was black. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I had my hair, I got tattoos. I'm black, man. So, you know what I'm saying? People know me. So I go get diesel, and even inside was weird because everybody was just staring at me, bro. And even the cashier was literally like, you know where you at? I'm like, no, I don't know where I'm at. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just coming to get diesel and leaving, bro. Up in there, I mean, I get up out of there, get diesel, pump my shit up, and pull off, right? So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I see this minivan, right? And I seen them parked at the parking lot. Like, they wasn't getting diesel, they was just parked. You know what I'm saying? So I see them following me, bro. So I'm going to drop off my load, right? Fast forward, I get off the exit. I'm telling you, even the damn, and by where my drop-off location is a damn sundown town because it's literally nothing out there, creepy as hell. I get over there, bro, and I get off the highway, and this car is still following me, bro. This car is literally still fucking following me, bro. So I'm like, oh, hell no, bro. There's security, and there was a gate, and she was like, you can't unload you tonight. So I'm like, what the f? And she was like, you can't park inside the gate so you can sleep either. You have to sleep outside, either outside the gate or like across the street or somewhere else. I'm like, oh, hell no, bro. Like, what the f? So I'm like, all right, I'm about to just sleep by the gate, bro. And mind you, the car, as soon as I pulled into the gate, like, to deliver my load, he was doing U-turns, like, basically just doing U-turns and shit, like driving by, and I kept seeing him, like, he kept doing a U-turn, driving, doing a U-turn, driving, like, so he's going back and forth by the location, bro, like, and I put down my window. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to see what the hell is going on. Then he parked and then got out the car. He's like, yeah, bro. Like, I seen you at the truck stop, bro. Like, I hope you know where you at, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just making sure that you got to your destination safe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, where am I at? He's like, you ain't one of them places, bro.
I kid you all not. I'm sorry, my voice is hoarse. I'm catching hell with my allergies and sinus. But I have a quick little story. One time in the state that I am from, it was me and 3 of my other cousins ranging from the age of 16 to 19 years old. We somehow end up in a sundown town, and when you're young, you don't think about things like that, like where should I look up not to go. And we were riding. We went in the store. We noticed the people were looking at us crazy. You know, I'm gonna say people, y'all put 2 and 2 together. So I don't know if somebody called somebody and told them that it was 4 black girls in this town, and you guys need to do something about it. Because when we left, we rode a little bit more, and then the sun actually went down. Lo and behold, all of a sudden, we seen headlights pop up behind us. The car whooped in front of us, blocked us. 2 men got out and asked us what the hell we were doing in that town that night. Like, what were we doing? And we was like, we're just riding around, you know, just out and about. Shouldn't even been explaining to them because evidently they weren't police, I'm guessing. So one of them flashes a gun, kind of raised his shirt and showed a gun to us. So we kind of looked at each other like, what's really going on? I'm getting nervous, like, oh my God, like, what are they about to do to us? We're not doing anything wrong. I kid you not, this man looked at me and my cousins and told us, we're going to trail you out of this town. until you get on the exit to get on the interstate. If you try to turn left, turn right, or try to act like you're trying to outdrive us, we're going to shoot your tires out and your parents are going to be looking for you all. So these guys trailed us all the way until we got on the exit to the interstate, and they kept going straight. When I tell you, when we hit that interstate, we did 80 to 90 miles per hour all the way till we got back to our home. And I know we shouldn't have drove like that, but we were so scared. Nobody said nothing. Until this day, our parents don't even know that happened to us. I don't even like talking about it, but doing a video like this, I want to talk about it. You know, people say racism doesn't exist or sundown towns doesn't exist. Oh yes, they do. They exist to this day.
Let me just piggyback off of the video I made about the sundown town when I was unloading my truck. I asked the lady to back up, please, and she said no. I kid you not, in less than 2 minutes, I looked on the side of me, on my right side, I looked down, and the sheriff pulled up on us. He looked at her, she looked at him, and she backed up a little bit. My third store, I met a guy in the line, and I ain't gonna lie, I was extra fucking friendly. Bitch, I was paranoid. I was getting in my truck, and I see him pulling up in his truck, and he said, come here. And I didn't go, so he came to my truck, and he was like, why you looking so paranoid? And I said, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to disrespect you in no kind of way. I said, I don't see no blacks out here. I've been in 3 stores. And that man told me, first he asked me, did I hear about what happened? Then I said, no, I ain't hear about what happened. He said, but you'll be fine. He asked me, do I have a Snapchat? I said, yeah, I have a Snapchat. He said, if you hear anything around your truck, give me a call. And I said, no, hold up. What happened around here? And he said, you're in a sundown town. He said, get in your truck. Don't come back out tonight. It's 8 o'clock at this point. He said, lock your doors, close your curtains, and as soon as you see daylight, get the fuck out of here.
Yo, let me tell y'all as quickly as I can about my night in a sundown town. Excuse me. Yes, I said that correctly. A sundown town. 2022, a sundown town. For those who don't know what a sundown town is, look it up on Google. But anyway, so I get a load going to a particular city in Texas, and I'm like, okay, well, let me head on over here and drop this off. They're gonna pay me this much. That's perfect. I like that. It's a quick 200 miles, make it quick. You know, whatever the amount was, great, cool. I get there, and I look at the exit. I'm like, wait a minute. It took me to exit 861A. For those who don't know, it's a place called Vidor, Texas, Vidor, Vidor. I'm like, uh-oh, I've heard stories. Like pretty much everybody I know in Texas that's black tells me, do not go to Vidor, Texas. I'm like, okay. Yet here I was in Vidor, Texas. My load didn't deliver until this morning. This is from the perspective of yesterday. Didn't deliver until tomorrow at 8. It was like 5:30. So I get to the place. I'm not giving names of companies or anything like that. But while I'm driving to the place, I see trailer parks. I see a bunch of Confederate flags. I saw a doll of a black man. It was just a doll wrapped in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree by its neck. That's the type of stuff I saw in Vidor, Texas, which led me to believe that the reputation was fairly earned. I get there, the security guard says, hey, we got a code red. The guy gets on the phone, is like, hey, I can't, I don't want to be responsible for this guy's safety. Let me go ahead and find somebody because we stopped taking loads at 4 o'clock. But I'll get somebody over here from the other side of the plant. Tell them to hang on. So I hang on. I'm doing what I got to do. Finally, somebody comes by about 15 minutes later. The guy said, let me hurry up and get you unloaded. He quickly gets me unloaded. And they say, dude, you might want to get up out of here as soon as possible. We're at sundown. You want to leave here now. Don't stop until you at least get to Beaumont. I was like, okay. He was like, no, seriously. I said, well, what about the police? Why aren't the police there? Police turned a blind eye. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what you said. He said, yeah, man, I don't want to see you get in any trouble. So I went ahead and I took off, headed to Beaumont. I went to the Petro in Beaumont, slept there, and I had my my Armalite Rifle 15 with me. Slept with a couple of extra magazines, but I'm safe, y'all. But that was my night in the Sundown.
So this is another quick story. This time it's about me and my husband. And yes, being a grown adult now, I know about a lot of sundown town, but we have no choice but to go through this sundown town to get from the state that we live in to the state that we are originally from. So one time we was on the interstate, on this certain part of the interstate, this sundown town, the police like to harass people. If you are Black, Hispanic, any melanin in your skin, they're going to harass you, just point blank, period. So the police pulled us over because he claimed that he couldn't see our tags, which were BS because our tags were on the back of the car. Like, how are you going to say you can't see our tags, but the tags are literally on the back of the car where anybody and everybody can see them. What it was, he was on the side of the road and he, I guess, seen that we were, Black people or whatever. He pulled us over. When he put us over, that's what he told us about. He couldn't see the tag on the car. So, we were taught, and this is sad, not to argue with the police, especially just being real, the Caucasians, and people might feel some type of way in the comment section of me saying this, but I'm just being honest. So we didn't argue. He had us to get out of the car in the rain, made my husband stand by a tree off the highway, made me stand on the side of the highway in the rain. He ripped our car apart. It went from, we couldn't see your tag, to actually going to a drug traffic stop, I guess. He ripped the car apart, asked us, interrogated us, where you both going? We basically had the same story. My fiance told him we were going to get the car from his mother because our car needed work done on it. So he was like, we're coming back through in a white Honda. You guys, I kid you not. When we came back through in that same area, my husband said, this is the same police that pulled us over that's driving ahead of us. I said, you're lying. He said, no, I'm not. You all, when we passed that police officer, he slowed down, looked over at us. He turned his lights on and pulled us back over. My husband, well, he was my fiance at the time, looked at me and said, I told you. I said, you got to be shitting me right now. He pulls over, comes on my side of the door because I was on the passenger side away from the traffic. I opened the door. I didn't shake this man's hand. I didn't say one word to him. I had my arms folded. He shook my husband's hand and said, I be damned, you didn't lie. You really did come in a white Honda. I thought you was lying, because if you was lying or you just seemed like something wasn't right, I was going to take you and your wife to jail. And I told you wasn't taking me anywhere because you had no reason to take me anywhere. We get up the street. He had other police waiting for us, but evidently he must have told them to stand down because we was telling the truth. We called a lawyer because we were like, this is BS. Guess what the lawyer told us? Well, if you all have to travel that way and can't find another way to get to the state you're trying to get to, I advise you not to do anything about it. So when like I keep saying, people talking about racism is dead, sundown towns doesn't exist, that is a whole effing lie.
So I done parked in a sundown town. Let me tell you what happened. So I parked my truck, went across the street to the Dollar General. So while I'm at the Dollar General, I'm sitting over there just walking around trying to see if I need some stuff for my truck. After I was in there for a minute, somebody come up to me and said, hey man, I like your shirt. Like, I was like, yeah, thank you, man. It's my design. It's highway hustling. Well, they asked me, well, how you come up with that right there? So then, they leave after we talk or whatever. So they leave, go down the aisle. As they go down the aisle, I'm sitting over here just looking around. So then the guy he said, well, you better watch yourself. We're supposed to get some snow. I said, that's fine. I'm just riding through. I ain't even, of course I had on my shorts and I had on this hoodie. And so I said, I'm just riding through. After I said that right there, another guy who looked like he was president and CEO of the trailer park comes around and say, where you from? And I said, well, I'm from Georgia. That joker that I just got finished talking to from the other end of the aisle yells out and says this right here, you a long way from home, boy. When he said that, I looked down there. He said that with so much rosewood in his voice. He said that with so much Mississippi burning in his voice. I said, man, let me get my stuff and get out of here.
Being a truck driver in Florida, let me tell y'all the first experience I had of finding out what a sundown town was. It was a Thursday. I was driving a 26-foot box truck from Orlando to Gainesville. So I'm between Ocala and Gainesville, but I gotta stop and get some gas and get some food or whatever. But I see absolutely nothing as I'm driving. It ain't no houses, no buildings, just road and trees. I finally find this old-ass Circle K gas station in the middle of nowhere. An old white lady that was helping me at the counter was sweet as can be, nice as hell. Hey, baby, what brings you way out here in these sticks? you just coming to get some gas? I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of familiar with these parts, but kind of not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to Gainesville. I'm just shooting through. I'm in and out. She's like, all right, baby, God bless. You have a good one. Get my stuff, go back out to the truck, try to put the key in there and start the truck up. It will not start up. I wait a few seconds, put the key in there again, try to start it up. It will not start up. Don't know what the fuck is wrong. So I call my dispatcher, and my dispatcher tell me to look up under the hood to see if I can figure it out. I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I say to myself, man, I'm not about to go look up under this fucking hood. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking at. I signed up to be a driver. I ain't no damn mechanic. But I'm sitting there for like 20, 25 minutes, so I get bored. I'm like, all right, man, let me just go look up under the hood, see what I can see. So as soon as I get out of the truck, go around, pop open the hood, and as soon as I look down, the lady that was helping me in there comes out in a panic. What's wrong, baby? Is everything okay? Are you all right? I say, yeah, ma'am, I don't know what's going on with the truck. It won't start up, and I don't know much about trucks. I called my dispatcher. I don't know what they're gonna do. They figuring it out now. She was like, all right, well, do you need a tow truck or anything? Do you need an Uber or a taxi to take you closer into town? And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not allowed to leave the truck. It's a lot of valuables on this truck, and I'm delivering. I can't just leave the truck. I can't just leave it. She was like, all right, I understand. And she goes back in the gas station, but she keep looking at me, looking at her watch, looking at me, looking at her watch. And then she comes back out there and says, well, you don't want to sit up in some hot truck. You can't get it fixed, no AC, and there's nowhere for you to sit down in there. Like, so you're just going to stand out here and just sit in this hot truck? I say, honestly, man, right now, I don't have a choice. I'm just waiting for my dispatcher to hit me back. She said, okay, I understand. My dispatcher called me back and was like, listen, we got a tow truck coming out there in about 2 hours. Just sit tight. I'm like, damn, 2 hours is hot as hell. I'm ready to go. Whatever. She seen me get off the phone. She ran out to me again, and she was just like, did you figure anything out? Do you know what you're going to do? I was like, yeah, my dispatcher said they got somebody coming in 2 hours for the tow. I'll be fine. She was like, 2 hours? The sun will be down by then. Are you sure they can't figure anything out before then? I was like, they said 2 hours. And she looked at her watch, went right back in the store. Few minutes go by, I get thirsty, so I ran in the store and go grab a Gatorade. As soon as I go in the store to get a Gatorade, she had her back turned, and she was on the phone talking to the police, talking about, yeah, he's been here for a while, you gotta come get him, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't put two and two together until I bought the Gatorade and I left, and I was like, damn, she was calling the police. She was calling somebody on my ass, like, what the fuck? So I called my dispatcher back. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's about to go down, but this old lady that worked at this store just been giving me problems or whatever. When she found out I wasn't going to be able to move my truck, I think she just called the police on me. I don't know what's about to happen, but can y'all fucking shake a tail feather? My dispatcher was like, why would she call the police? I was like, I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Can y'all hurry up? 5 minutes after I get off the phone, sure enough, the police pull up right behind my truck. A black police officer gets out, and he asked me what's the problem, asked me what's going on. He assesses the truck and says, listen, I'm gonna have to take you somewhere. I said, I can't leave my truck. Like, what are you talking about? You about to get me fired. He said, listen, I'm gonna have to take you somewhere. Get in the truck. Get in the back of the truck. We driving for about 30 seconds. And I'm like, bro, where the fuck are you taking me? He was like, are you familiar with the mall area? He was like, that's a good area. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with the mall area. He said, yeah, that's where I'm taking you. I said, what the fuck you taking me to the mall for? I can't leave my truck. He said, you have to leave your truck. I said, why? Because that bitch called the police on me. I ain't even do nothing. He said, she didn't call the police on you. She called the police for you. I know her personally. He said, in 45 minutes, that sun was going to go down and you was going to go miss.